How we doing, lads?
Excellent. Houston barbecue fed, the good old barbecue stuff, good old barbecue food. No, jokes aside, everything is good. We just been training here and getting used to Houston. Good place to train out here. Liam was kind enough to come out for a couple of days now, and Mick is coming down on Monday. So I'm well looked after here. Excited now for all the big fights. You got Tyson fighting, things going. Then we got Filip Hrgovic fighting is the one I'm fighting the week after. So it's like exciting times now for us, I'd say.
And we've got
How's the sparring going with Hrgovic?
It's going really good. He's really strong. I've worked with him before, so kind of know each other. And he's looking really good. He's looking, he's physically really strong. He's he's great, really. He's really great. I think he's gonna do really well against Daniel Dubois. As a matter of fact, I think that it's probably Daniel Dubois is probably the best opponent for Filip Hrgovic that is like really big type of thing. You know what I mean? Out of the big names, he's the guy that he would want to fight. That's my opinion. And yeah, he's gonna do well against him. Yeah.
So El Animal is ready to go.
El Animal exactly is ready to go. El Animal is right. No, he's not afraid of no dynamite.
What about yourself? How's everything holding up now? Because you had your little run out recently in Hollywood.
Well,
If
I've been a little bit unlucky with my hands, because I broke
yeah,
my hand, and then I had surgery. I was out for a year and a half, or like
yeah,
a year, 2 months, and then I had my comeback fight and broke my hand again. This time a
shit.
different finger. This time I broke my ring finger, just as a reminder not to get married. Remember? So but my hand is surprisingly really good. I've not had a single thing.
he was punching really well today with the right hand on the mitts.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah,
on
yeah,
the
yeah.
pads, he was
And
punching really hard.
he's got really skinny little winning mitts. I mean, that like I don't even know if you can classify them as mitts. They're like they were padding like a bit of a like this t-shirt. And I was when I saw the mitts, I got a bit worried. And then slowly I was kind of letting my hands go. I said, "Wow, my hands are holding up pretty good, actually." So
Really
So
good.
surprising.
Christian, it's no secret the people like Liam who are in the game, they've known about you forever, and anyone in the heavyweight scene knows you've been integral to so many top fighters' camps, whether it be, you know, AJ fighting before, Tyson Fury fighting Wilder, because you're one of the only guys that's the same size as Fury and is big enough and strong enough to go rounds with Hrgovic, with Fury, with AJ. So you're somewhat of a bit of a secret weapon in the heavyweight game when you're fit and firing. So now you've had your run out recently in Florida and you're back out again at the Hard Rock soon in a couple of weeks. The heavyweight game's on fire right now. The Saudis are throwing all the kitchen sink at it. And I said to Coach Mick, if you're in the mix and you're fit and healthy, it's only a matter of time before the phone rings.
Absolutely. The heavyweight division was, I mean, it's always been exciting since when the Klitschko's kind of got, dethroned, and since when Tyson Fury has had his, he's kind of like pre-retirement, all the belts got kind of relinquished, and the whole scene kind of started to bubble up again. So it was indeed really, I mean, it's been exciting for years, but now, thanks to all the Saudis, it's really turned like it's really it's really becoming incredible, and fights are all being made. All these cross-platform fights are suddenly happening like this. You see amazing fights. Like, by the way, they get made within like weeks. Boom, you got Wilder Zhang. Boom, you got this fight. Everything is done so quickly, and that's just so good to see. By the way, I mean, Wilder, how old is he? Probably 37, 38, 39. I mean, he's whatever his age is, he has a lot of miles on the clock. Even if he'd be 32, he'd be an old fighter. He's been in so many fights and tough fights. Same like Zhang, he's fucking what? I think he's 41. Just recently I saw my phone, his age, I said 41. I couldn't believe it. I said, fuck me, 40. Can you imagine 41? It's actually crazy. So many of these guys are getting older, by the way, myself included, and these fights have to happen now, or they will never happen, or they're gonna happen one day, like everybody old and just kind of like overcooked, and then nobody cares. So it's really, as a boxing fan, I'm really happy that these fights are happening. As a boxing I guess, athlete. I'm happy that these opportunities are arising now for other fighters, for myself, hopefully soon down the line.
Well, his next fight, he's going to get seen. It's on the Aiden Broner undercard, so a lot of people are going to see it. And you're going to see a lot of fireworks when he lets his hands go, and now he's 100%, 110%. You're going to see a different Christian.
There was a time, I think it was in March 2022, I was really on fire and I was doing well. And, I had a good fight and I stopped this guy. His name is, I forgot his name actually. It was like 11-1, I believe, at the time, 10 knockouts or something. Stopped him in the first round, and it was really a good fight, and everything was so good. We were really kind of like pushing, And then I had my big hand injury where I, needed surgery. I didn't really look after it. I didn't really treat it the way it should have been treated, so I ended up needing surgery. I mean, the tendon just completely snapped. I had to pull my tendon back up. I had a pin in my hand. It was a big thing, and I learned from that. And it took a long time to get back. And then, of course, the other upset where I broke my hand again in my last fight. I mean, a full-blown fracture with a cast. It's not just like, little twist his fingers on it. So it's really been a long time coming. But, I think I had to kind of go through this process one way or the other. I didn't even know why. I'm feeling really good and happy and inspired, and I had time to do other things too.
You think the timing, I know you've been in camp with Hrgovic before, with Klitschko back in the day, right? But you think the timing of this camp now, especially with FILIP being on the top of the game, do you think it was perfect timing for you now to kind of level up before your fight?
Oh, absolutely. I'm fighting a guy that's somewhat similar to FILIP in terms of size. His name is Onorodye Irmawehe, I believe. He's a Nigerian former Olympian, 2008 Beijing Olympian. Record of like 20 wins, 19 knockouts, and, 4 or 5 fights. Lost his last 3, but still, I've sparred him before. Big puncher, he definitely can crack. And, it's definitely a great fight. And, he's probably 6'6", 6'7", same, if I may say, similar to FILIP, kind of in style and size. So it's the perfect sparring for myself too. That's why I'm also taking really serious, because it's an important kind of preparation for me as well, not only for him. So
also, Chris's weight's a lot better now. He's 10 pounds lighter, so much sharper. He's coming back to a different fighter.
And we're not there yet with the weight. The weight's still gonna come down a little bit, but still.
I can see here when I saw you last year when you were at your worst, you were weighing heavier than Zhang back then. I remember because it was the day after the Joyce Zhang fight, and you said to me, "Bloody hell!" You said I was 2 pounds heavier than Zhang. I was like, I saw you on the scales. So you look good now. Yeah,
I remember. And I still have some weight to go. I wanna weigh in at 270 on fight day. And when I'm 270, I'm surprisingly coordinated, sharp, and fast for my size. It's really I'm impressed myself when I see my own footage. Whereas when it's kind of funny, because you would think 15, 20 pounds spread over your body won't do much. But imagine wearing those vests that you wear.
Yeah.
And if I'm 270 and I'm wearing that weighted vest, I couldn't, it's
too much. Liam, you was there at the Hard Rock the last time out. I think it's fair to say Christian was a bit rusty. He took his time, but you were there, so you're seeing now. You're saying he's looking sharper. He's in camp with Hrgovic.
Way sharper.
So what do you reckon in a perfect world? We don't take anything for granted in this game, but in a couple of weeks, if Christian gets past the next hurdle, how many more, shall we say, tune-ups before we say, right, let's throw Christian in?
2 more fights, then we're ready. This
one. Right. Okay.
This is a real opponent we're fighting next. He's coming to fight. He's a big puncher.
Yeah.
We've got to be very careful, and this is why he's focused right now. He's working hard, and when Chris has got a real opponent in front of him, he trains properly, and he's no messing about. He's training. The weight's coming down. He's eating properly, and things are better now.
It's hard to train when you have somebody there. This
is motivation.
It's like hard to explain. I mean, you would think that why would you not train hard? You're still getting in the ring. It's still the same job type of thing, but it's kind of weird to explain. Like it's I'm inspired not only by this fight, but I know that soon we're there. So I'm now feeling, oh, we're soon back, we're soon there. It's a bigger fight. I think that we're gonna do a number on this guy, do a really good job, and then yeah, maybe one more, maybe not. I mean, I'd like to really get this guy out of there in good fashion, look sharp, look good, and then really get into a good fight. I mean, I'm talking like a, you know, like one of these other
Yeah.
big.
Also, if we get an offer, you know, something comes in, something drops out, we'll be ready to go in there and take it. You know what I mean? And we'll take it with both hands.
Yeah.
Because now he's in shape.
Yeah.
And
Chris is a big lump. He's a name. He's in all the top camps. It only takes someone to say, hang on a minute, he was just in with Philip last week. Who's dropped out? That's it. Bing bang, one phone call, you're in.
Get this out the way. And a lot of exposure with being on the Broner undercard, and you've got the WBC Cruiserweight title fight on Noel from Armenia, who lives in Miami also. And there's a few other good fighters on the show, so it's going to be a sellout there with a good crowd. And
brilliant.
It's on TV, I'm not sure. TV
I think
station.
on Triller on the
Don King knocking on the door for Chris, you know. You never
no. You know what? We spoke before, but you know, like we're really setting our eyes to the big 2 or 3, not even promotion going, just the opponents that they bring and the whole thing that they offer. Really, I had enough.
Music to my ears. I've been going on at Coach Mick, your brother, for so long. When's Christian coming back? When's he fighting? So he's like, don't ask me. He's a nightmare. Don't ask me. His hands fucked. Don't ask me.
Yeah. I know. No, it's been a bit of a challenging time, but once again,
good.
You have to go through certain things and certain hurdles and stuff. I mean, it's, you know. By the way, I'm 32 now, so also physically and by the way, mentally also, I'm feeling good. You just mature more into this kind of thing, because before, even though I was 29, 30, 27, 28, 29, 30, whatever.
This is more of a prime age for a heavyweight.
Yeah, more of a prime age for heavyweight. Also,
33, 34 now.
Also in your head more, you're a bit more mature and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm really feeling really good. You know, I've been inspired now with, I mean, I inspired pretty much everybody, and you learn to take shots better. You learn to, you know, like absorb punches more. You know, it's really, things are really turning out to be pretty good.
So you've already said that you expect Philip to get the job done against Daniel. How do you see the undisputed fight going next week? We've been waiting for so long.
I'm going to tell you something now. It's kind of interesting. Everybody has been focused on Tyson Fury's bad performance against Ngannou, right? That this was like the talk of the industry or whatever, the talk of the boxing scene, right? But I think that's not really fair, because now let's look back a little bit to now the Usyk's performance. Usyk's first fight, as actually one of Usyk's last fights as a cruiserweight, was against Tony Bellew. And that fight, Tony Bellew, by the way, one of my favorite fighters. I love Tony Bellew. I really do. I think he's a fantastic fighter. I love the way he was like carrying himself. I'm a big fan of his. He got knocked out after all. He was exhausted. But those first 6-7 rounds that he was there, you know, they were like this. Yeah. They were like this. Okay, next fight, Derek Chisora. Alec Krasniuk said he was surprised that Usyk won that fight, because he thought that they're gonna give it to Derek. I get it, styles make fights, and his first fight is a heavyweight, and there's so many variables involved. Because he managed to catch AJ in a time where things were very difficult for him training-wise. He was not perhaps like just Robson Krakenfall. He just had to tidy up his situation. He had 3 coaches, and it was difficult, and you know, then he's transition, this and that. So he's caught AJ at the perfect moment. I think AJ now is in a place that he could arguably, if he'd fight Usyk again, they'd have a great fight. It may go either way. Usyk, as brilliant and fantastic as he is, had a tough night against Bellew, knocked him out after, looked fantastic in a knockout. It was a highlight reel knockout, all good, no problem. Let's give him the checkmark there. Moved on, this and that, a couple other fights. Then he fought Derek Chisora. And by the way, by no means am I a big stalker of Usyk's career. I'm just recalling from the back of my brain right here what happened. I watched the fight with against Derek Chisora with Coach Mick, sitting in fucking Beverly Hills, in where was it, in Il Pastaio, like a pasta restaurant. We were all like this, you know, on the phone trying to watch the fight, and could have gone either way. I mean, once again, I would have to watch it again now to really, but I think it was a close fight, let's put it this way. And I remember even Alex Krasniak said, I was actually surprised that he gave it to Usyk because I think he could have gone either way. Fair play to him for saying it. Then, he's at the stand against AJ where he fought AJ twice when AJ was at his lowest. And I think we can all agree, if we look at AJ's career, he was always up here, thriving, doing so good, doing like fabulous. He was knocking people out. He just looked, okay, Andy Ruiz, that thing was obviously then, but then he made his comeback in there. And then he had this thing where he had 3 coaches and he was all a mess and everybody could see, everybody was just, even the boxing community was thinking, like, what's going on there? And he beat him twice. Now we were to fight against Tyson, and everybody's focusing on how bad Tyson was in his last fight, because you're only as good as your last fight, as they say in boxing. Unfortunately, that's just a true reality. Or maybe fortunately, we may even say. And so now I'm actually focusing more on like the last 5, 6 fights that they all had. And I think now, to answer your question, after 10 minutes of boxing, of
analysis,
boxing analysis, I think Tyson Fury is going to win. He's gonna box. I don't want to say boring fight. Stick him in his jab, throw the right hand, land a few. Oh, by the way, let's not forget Daniel Dubois against Usyk. Let's not forget that as well. Daniel Dubois by the
body shot,
fantastic fighter. And now we could also here, I guess, spend the next hour debating over the body shot's legality or not. But still, that shot landed, and he was fucked. And he was borderline. I think we can all agree it was borderline. And
yes, good point.
We can tip the scale, illegal, not illegal, but still, he was hurt. And I think AJ also hurt him to the body. And I think that Tyson is he's got a fantastic body shot. Well, or rather, he likes to the body, got a fantastic body shot. And I think Tyson is going to be too much for Usyk. Too much, too big, too strong. Although, once again, Usyk, incredible fighter, fantastic fighter. And like, it's a tough fight, but I'm putting my money on Tyson to beat him by unanimous decision, because I just don't think that Usyk is gonna let himself get knocked out. He's gonna like literally, if he sees it's gonna get kind of difficult, he's gonna kind of just run away and maybe try and nick the last 2 or 3 rounds type of thing. And you know what I mean? He's not gonna be there if he get knocked out. That's gonna be. It's like Tyson Fury can knock Usyk out, but Usyk won't just let himself get knocked out.
No,
it won't happen.
No.
He like before it's gonna happen, he's gonna say, okay, I'm gonna run away for the last 4 rounds and just make it a boring fight, and just don't get knocked out. And who knows? Maybe the judges are gonna do some crazy thing, and it may be a draw or a split decision or majority or whatever. Once again, I'm getting anxieties now because I'm so excited for that fight. Actually,
What do you think about the other fight on the 5 versus 5 card? What do you think about Zhang Wilder? As you mentioned, they're both getting older, but they're both hard hitters. So I think in the early rounds, I think Zhang's dangerous. But I think after 5 rounds, if Wilder's still standing, I think Wilder could smoke him if he's still standing, because Zhang gets hit as well. So I don't know.
Basically, you're saying early Zhang or late Wilder, basically, right?
But I think Wilder can knock him out in 1 round, as in like 30 seconds, first punch, he's gone. I wouldn't be surprised. But rounds 2 to 6, I give to Zhang. So I'm giving Wilder round 1 and then round 6 and onwards. That's my idea.
You know what? This is probably how the scorecards are going to be. You're going to see one Wilder and the rest for Zhang, and then somebody's going to get knocked out. I think we can agree on that. I really like Zhang a lot. I'm actually going to go do some work with him. I really like him a lot, actually. He's a really, if you look, he doesn't throw a single jab. He just lets that sharp, straight left go. He times the right. His main punch is the right hook, the southpaw right hook. I always liked him. He's very precise. Like he's not gonna hit you here. He's gonna hit you right on the temple. He's in my opinion, a great fighter, very well schooled. Just has a very different style. Because if you'd be that big, you'd tell somebody, "I'll stick behind the jabs and that." Doesn't even throw a jab. It's actually mad. If you look at the Joyce fight, doesn't he? He just stands there, southpaw, like bah, bah. He kind of counters shots, but he doesn't counter the punch. Kind of times it. Just when they walk in, he just lets his shots go. I really like him a lot. And Wilder has a very fast jab. People don't really kind of give him credit for, and got an incredibly fast and sharp and strong right hand, and it's very tough. But that's it. Everything else is below mediocre. But those 3 things that he have, I mean, the jab and his toughness may not be full 10s. His jab may be probably like a solid 8, and his toughness probably solid 8.52. But his right hand is a 11 out of 10. I felt it myself. It's been hit by everybody, but never been hit like he has hit me. I don't know if it was just luck or whatever, but when he hit me, I really saw two Deontays in front of me. I saw
Wow.
I've like a clone in front of. No, but so it's, and right hands and southpaws are very efficient. It's I mean, it's one of those things. Like, look, for the Usyk Tyson fight, I can tell you, I think Tyson gonna win by UD. That's my opinion. For the Zhang against Wilder fight, I would have to probably lean towards Wilder because I think he's very tough and he's just gonna last. He's just gonna last longer, type of thing. I mean, Wilder may be standing on his last breath. He may just be like wobbling around there, but he's still gonna be kind of standing there, and he's still dangerous. Whereas Zhang, when he's gonna be on his last kind of breath standing there, I just don't think he has the sharpness, no power to still hurt Wilder. Therefore, once again, but still, like I like both fighters a lot, actually. Like, as fighters, as a fan, I think it's a fantastic fight, it's a brilliant fight. But I would edge towards Wilder. On the other hand, I don't really know how well prepared Zhang is. If he's conditioned well and prepared well, he can. I mean, he has all the potentials to flatten Wilder, to make a highlight real knockout of him.
Let's pick this one back up in 10 days when you know a little bit more.
Zhang has all the potential to time Deontay. For example, when he steps in with like a 1-2, he could time him and just catch him with a nasty short right hook and end the show there. And everybody's going to be like, what just happened? He has that type of potential of doing that. He's that skilled and that, yeah. So it's a 50-50 fight. And, I may be leaning towards Wilder, but I'm not. I'm really just excited for this fight, and it's a great fight, really.
Talking of potential, you were with my good friend last week. Johnny Fisher was also out there for the camp. He's come a long way in a short space of time. Hardly no amateur background, but he's like that. He's got a crazy fan base. But how was it? How was it meeting Johnny? And you've sparred with everyone, right? You've been around everyone in the heavyweight game. Johnny's kind of learning the ropes like that now. He's sparred Chisora. He's been in with Fury.
Let me stop you right here. Johnny and Sonny, fine enough, they rhyme, are really excellent guys. It was a pleasure to meet them and to hang out with them. It really, because they're both from East London, and as you may know, I spent 10 years in Canning Town, East London. It really brought back some nostalgic moments. We had a great time. And I think they're both great guys. And Johnny, as a boxer, he's also developing really good. I mean, he went from really going he went from brawling, pretty much just knocking people out just because of his right hand, to really boxing and doing well. He did really well against FILIP Hrgovic. And he's also really keen and interested on learning, which is very important. So he's very intelligent as well. So it was good to see, intelligent fighters step in. They may not, he may very well be intelligent outside the ring too, but many fighters are maybe not intelligent outside the ring, but they have those ring smarts and thing. He is both. He's learning, he's keen on learning, he learns fast. So, he's been doing great, I wish him really nothing but the best. Good to see. And, I told him when he left that he's got potential of being a future legend like Ricky Hatton. So he should better keep it up and make sure to really, because he's the type of guy that, he's like a Ricky Hatton-esque type of guy in terms of even his fighting style. Ricky Hatton may more have like a left hook to the body. He's more right-handed, I guess, in terms of punch. But in terms of fan base and in terms of just the guy he is and stuff, he could be like the Ricky Hatton from East London. Ricky Hatton,
likability,
obviously from Manchester, I can kind of relate them. So it was good to meet him finally.
Christian, I think we're hitting our Zoom limit of half an hour in a minute, so I'm going to wrap it up. But it's been a great chat. Liam, it was lovely to be joined by you as well, and I'm excited because I know you're sparring a few times this week or next week once Coach Mick arrives as well. We'll touch base again in a week, see how it's been, and then man, we'll keep up. I'm going to keep following you from now until your next fight. Keep the progress, keep the good work going. So big up Liam, big up yourself, Christian. I can see a different spark in your eye there, so it's good. I like what I see. Good, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you, brother. Take care. Listen, you have a safe drive home now, and good night, man. I know it's late there. Thank you for staying up late for us. Yeah,
it's all good. All right, we'll catch up soon, man. Ring raps, Christian THUN, Liam Vaughan. Ciao.
Everyone, watch the new video by Ring Ring Rat Raps.